Mr. Duke, could I ask you, being a man with your musical ability, to describe this new direction you're getting into?
Окей, мы находимся в Голливуде, буквально перед домом знаменитого голливудского учителя по вокалу Джорджа Дюка. Этот человек учил Майкла Джексона, ставил голоса таким людям, как Анитой Беккер и так далее. Очень известный человек в Голливуде. Сейчас мы пойдем внутрь и посмотрим, каким образом он создает и работает над своими мировыми шедеврами. Следуйте за нами.
Some of my biggest records, the ones that have made the most noise in the business, have just come out like water going down the sink. Really simple. I mean, and fast.
Right.
I mean, it's just flows out. And sometimes lyrically it takes me a little longer, but generally even that is pretty fast. You know, some of the other ones, if I have to work too hard at something, I choose to let it go and come back to it at a later time. If I'm having trouble, I'll come back an hour later, a day later, 2 years later, whatever. I mean, I keep all the ideas. I try to force an idea to go the direction that I think it should go, I'm having a problem.
Yeah.
If I just let my heart dictate where it should go, let the song tell me this is where I want to go. It's the same for orchestration, same for production.
Right.
You know, it all follows the same course for me. Let what's happening now dictate. It's almost like a basketball game where the best players let the game come to them. They know when to push, they know when to lay back.
Right.
You know, it's almost the same thing. You know, it's wonderful to be applauded, you know, and all that, but my greatest thing is to actually play live and see those people smile and see that I've actually touched someplace deep within them that lasts for years. I mean, I've had people come up to me, man, who are like, I remember 30 years ago I was at Pittsburgh and I was at this theater and blah, 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 and I had my then girlfriend with me, blah, 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 and or whatever. That's the stuff that means most to me. Not necessarily walking up there getting an award and all that. I don't really care about that. I'm not that kind of guy.
I don't know about that rock and roll.
There's an energy out there, and it's up to us as artists to tap into that or not. We tap into it, and we can treat it as positive energy or negative energy. You know, I choose to try to use the positive side to uplift as opposed to denigrate. You know, that's one thing. But in terms of the music, yeah, I believe that energy is a strong source. I call it the ancient source. You know, for me, some may not believe this. I believe it's a God-given spiritual thing that comes to a person. I mean, a lot of times it's early in the morning. I'll get this seed of an idea, and I sometimes say, man, I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't want to think, and I'll lay there and I'll forget it. I've learned to listen to that little voice that says, look, I'm giving you this idea, write it down, talk, you know, with a tape recorder, whatever.
Yeah.
Just do it. And sometimes, I mean, I'll have the entire song. I mean, it'll come to me, I'll sit there and I'll write a little something and I'll basically have it.
Yeah.
You know, before I come downstairs and actually record it.
Right.
I've got it.
That's
you know,
amazing.
and that's a gift. That's a gift, and I think it's outside of me, but it's up to us to use that. And so the most successful artists, as far as I'm concerned, are the ones that have a vision. You got to be able to see yourself doing something before you can actually do it.
Right.
You know, I've received things, emails from pianists saying, how do you do that, blah, 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 because I'm thinking about, I got to play the C scale, now I got to play this G. So I said, once you learn that, that's the first thing you want to forget. If you have to think about C, E, G, it's already too late. The music has passed you by. You got to start thinking about music and how I'm going to get this thought over, how I'm going to touch this person, you know. That I work with have a determination that they want to succeed in terms of songs. I've worked with very few artists. I want to be the biggest star in the world.
Right.
I haven't worked with many people like that have that. They may think it in the back of their mind, but they don't come to me saying, I want the biggest pop record in the country. Well, they're probably coming to the wrong person, because I've never had that, and I generally do music for the love of it. I'm not into music for art's sake. Art for art's sake is a wonderful thing. They have a great painting on the wall, you know, but if nobody sees it, to me, it's like it didn't fulfill its destiny. You know, most of those artists can see themselves. Probably faith is a good thing, but they got to have talent too. But you got to act on that talent. There are a lot of people that have talent, and they don't have the faith, or they don't have the will to do something, you know. Of course, I've worked with Larissa and for Russia, and I'm an African artist and a French artist, and this is very, very interesting. All not speaking English too well. And we developed a relationship over the years, and we've done various things together. An amazing artist with a lot of depth, an amazing voice, and an incredible work ethic. I have never seen anybody work so hard on something. That's the other thing. I mean, she's not afraid to work. Well, obviously drugs is one. You know, I mean, you can go so far, you know, to kind of hide that, but at one point, the abuse of it. I won't say necessarily that somebody smoking a joint is going to turn them into a raging maniac, you know, or cause them but the abuse of that is what can cause that, or even drinking. I think any obsessive behavior can be a problem. You know, unless you learn how to control it. So that's what's tough for young kids, because they haven't matured enough to the point where they know who they are. I think in this business, especially when there are all these hawks out there saying, do this, do that, people grabbing at you and saying you should go this way, you should go that way, you got to have a pretty strong mind to take what they have to say and say, okay, but this is who I am. And that requires a little soul searching. Dig down in to find out who you are and bring that forward, and then being vulnerable enough to let that out. That's the other. But the singular thing that keeps people down, it's various obsessive behaviors that cause them problems and they can't control it.
Исторический коридор, здесь буквально запечатлена история мирового шоу-бизнеса. И Джордж Дюк сыграл ключевую роль в жизнях и карьерах Майкла Джексона, Аниты Беккер, Барри Манилоу. Список просто абсолютно бесконечный. Смоки Робинсон, Ал Джаро. Это классика. Это лучшее из лучших. И, конечно, работать с Джорджем — великая честь. Вот, и еще он мне дал последний альбом, который на самом деле один из первых альбомов, который он записал с Алжирой, ему было 19 лет.
Мы находимся в студии еще одного известнейшего голливудского продюсера, музыканта, да, вообще очень классного человека, который работал очень тесно с Мадонной, с группой Deep Purple и многими-многими другими, Марией Кэрри, звездами.